All right, before starting this video, make sure you have this worksheet. Follow along with me with this worksheet and you're going to turn this in. So, first off, this video is about not just polynomials, but monomials, binomials, trinomials, all of them. We're going to start about with what those mean. I'm going to look at the prefix on this word in poly. Poly just means many. All right, so if I look down here, you notice you have the number of terms. Mono means one, and then bi means two, tri means three, and poly means many, so that means just 4 or more. So number of terms is what we're talking about when we talk about these. We're going to kind of go over that a little bit more. First off, the definition of a polynomial is an expression. So let's write this in. An expression consisting of many terms. You've seen these already before, lots of when we were doing equivalent expressions. All right, so you're going to hear me say many a times things must be written in standard form. So what is standard form when we're talking about polynomials? There are some rules. When we write these, we need to have in alphabetical order. So they must be written in alphabetical order. And the other thing is that the highest exponent needs to come first, okay? So we're going to say with the highest exponent first. Oops. All right, so it must be written in alphabetical order. So that means, like, if I have x, y, z, x comes before y, y comes before z. Highest exponent first means if I have an x to the 4th power versus an x to the 3rd power, the 4th comes first. All right, so if I look at this example, this is a polynomial because I have at least 4 terms there. Notice this is 1 term, 2 terms, 3 terms, 4 terms. We talked about this already being separated by a plus or minus sign. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. All right, it says the highest exponent is called the degree, the degree. So you're going to see what degree. So the highest on this one is going to be the 3rd degree. All right. So what we mean by degrees is if we have 0 degrees, meaning that it's not raised to any power, that's considered a constant. Those are just like our whole numbers that are added or subtracted. If we have it to the 1st degree, like 4x plus 1, that x is to the 1st degree, that's a linear degree. Then when we start squaring things to the 2nd power, that's quadratic. 3rd is cubic, and 4 is quartic. And notice over here, we kind of went over that already, depending on the number of terms. So if I looked at this one, it had 4 terms, therefore it's a polynomial. So we're going to try to classify some of these together. The first one is a constant. It says to classify the following polynomials by the degree and the number of terms. There's only 1 term there, so therefore it's a constant and it's a monomial. All right, the next one. It's not a constant because I do have an x there, so therefore it's to the 1st power. So I'm going to say this one's linear. However, I still only have 1 term, so we are going to call it a monomial. The next one, I still only have it to the 1st power. So if you guys look, my x is only to the 1st power. So it's still going to be linear. But I have 2 terms now. So because I have 2 terms, it's going to be a binomial. All right. The next one, I've got squared. So it's to the 2nd term, which is quadratic. So we're going to put that that's quadratic. And I have 1, 2, 3 terms. I circle them. So because I have 3 terms, then that's going to be a trinomial. All right, the next one we have is going to be to the 3rd power. So we're going to say it's cubic. Now I look at my terms, I only have 2 though, so it's going to be a binomial. All right, my next one, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. So that's going to be my bad. I was trying to go ahead and do the terms first. My degree is going to be quartic. And my terms is going to be a polynomial. Because the highest one is up is to the 4th power, or 4 terms. Sorry, my bad. All right, now, the next thing says this idea of standard form. I kept saying it's going to be important that you write things in standard form. And if we go back to standard form, that just means that we are making sure that they are written in alphabetical order with the highest exponent first. So if I start here, I have my x's. I have a positive 2x squared is going to go first. Then I have a 3x and a plus 1. So I used all of my terms. I put my x's. If I was to have y's, I would obviously put the y's next, but all of my highest terms are there. Now my next one, I'm going to have my highest term is going to be to the 3rd power. So I'm going to put my positive 7x. My next highest term is going to be squared, so I'm going to put plus x squared. I can't keep these right. I have to make sure I put a plus between them because that's going to show that it's 2 different terms. And then I have a minus x, and then my constant of plus 64. All right, finish this paper and turn it in.